Yo, dudes, the Empire's pretty chill. Maybe you could, like, join it or something.
Lucimus Prime here, so it's time for a video game related video today. Today it's not going to be a review for a game, but more of a video where I talk about a console and why I personally think that console is, for me, the most underrated console of all time. This is actually a portable console as well, made by Sony in their PlayStation consoles, and to this day I think it's actually their last one they've done to this day. And this game console, of course, which I think is the most underrated of all time, is none other than PlayStation Vita. So, now, there's several reasons why I'd say it's, of course, for me, the most underrated console of all time. So, from experience, I've played on this console since 2012, because, shockingly enough, the PS4 is actually not my first PlayStation console, it was actually this. And I first got it for Christmas in 2012, and I played on it for a couple of years, but unfortunately I lost it, which really sucks. But thankfully, a couple of years ago, around the same time I got my PS4, coincidentally, I found it. And since then I've revisited the console and got several new games on it. I also found my old games too as well on it too, which I've also replayed on it. And I gotta say that I've had a really fun time playing it. So, now, one reason why I'd say it's a very underrated console in my opinion is due to, say, for example, exclusive games. So, my favourite PS Vita exclusive game of all time would have to be Killzone Mercenary, which is a first-person shooter game in the Killzone franchise. In my opinion, this game is wickedly underrated, and I think for a first-person shooter game on the Vita, it's really impressive, with great graphics for its time, and considering it's on a portable console, in my opinion, it's fantastic. I'd also say it's definitely much better than Call of Duty today even. Like, it's embarrassing how a Vita game is better than today's Call of Duty, in my opinion. That's just so embarrassing and really sad. But yeah, this game is awesome. Definitely favorite exclusive. It's also had other exclusives too. For example, another shooter game which is Resistance Burning Skies, which in my opinion is also a really fun shooter game in the Resistance franchise. Even that's better than Call of Duty as well. And speaking of Call of Duty as well, even though I may not be a fan of the franchise anymore, I did also play the game Call of Duty Black Ops Declassified. Now, it might not be the best in the Black Ops franchise by any means at all, no, but I'd also play this over today's Call of Duty as well any day. Because I think for what it's worth, when it comes to these first-person shooter franchises, I think they did a really good job translating the console gameplay on the big consoles onto a portable console. I think they did really well, in my opinion. And speaking as well of translation from console to portable, I think it's also very impressive how several console games are literally exactly the same as on a console on the Vita. This also applies to PlayStation Portable as well, but I've not played that console, but I could apply it to this because, as a matter of fact, several PSP games are actually on this game console, backwards compatible, which is pretty awesome. So, one example I can say is Lego games, because several old games, of course, are on PSP and also backwards compatible on the Vita. For example, Lego Indiana Jones The Original Adventures, and also, as well, Lego Batman the video game, and also Lego Star Wars 2 Original Trilogy. Those three games on the PSP and also backwards compatible on the Vita are literally exactly the same as their console versions, which in my opinion is really impressive. And I really wish the games after them also followed this, where it's exactly the same as the console version. I mean, I don't see why it would have been an issue for them, because back then, of course, the games weren't really that big, were they, in terms of, like, you know, the space on them, surely. So it could have been possible for them to translate from a console to portable for the other games, but sadly that wasn't the case, which was a big shame, really. But for what it's worth, though, I've played several portable versions of LEGO games I've also played on console, and for what they are worth, they're pretty good. So, for example, my first one I played was LEGO Batman 2D Superheroes, and I also planned on this as well on the Vita too. It is different to a console version, yes, but it's still, in my opinion, fun on the Vita. It has its differences, don't get me wrong, but it's still, in my opinion, fun at the same time. I also planned on LEGO Lord of the Rings on the Vita as well. I've got a cartridge somewhere, but not got the box for it. I think I might have lost it. But I think even that was also great on Vita because that had an open world. Considering it was different to console versions in terms of the graphics and the gameplay, it still, however, had an open world, which I was very impressed with. However, though, unfortunately, I feel in 2013 and 14, LEGO games in particular had a massive downgrade, even more so than their Vita version, which were different. Because I feel that, you know, they were great when they first started, and I did also, as well, pass some LEGO Harry Potter Years 5 to 7 on my Vita as well. I personally do not like Years 1 to 4's version on my Vita or PSP, because it's way too different to a console version, and unfortunately in a bad way, because I tried to play it on Nintendo DS when I was a kid, and I literally turned it off after a few minutes because I thought it was rubbish and just unplayable in my opinion. But this one, however, in my opinion, is much better what we should have got for Years 1 to 4. Might be different to the console version, but still really good. When it comes to 2013, 2014, though, I have played the LEGO games on portable consoles, for example, LEGO Marvel Superheroes Universe in Peril, and also the LEGO Movie video game, and also LEGO The Hobbit. Sadly, there's a big downgrade involved, because they literally don't feel like LEGO games, in my opinion, because for some reason they have dumb challenges on them, like time challenges. And not to mention, if you die in the levels, but you have to restart the level from the beginning, you don't respawn, you know, like in older games, which in my opinion is really dumb. And also an open world either. So that's why I personally think those versions suck. But thankfully, since then, LEGO games, in my opinion, have got better, because we also as well got LEGO Batman 3 Beyond Gotham on the Vita. I played this and completed the story, and I will say that in my opinion, it's better than the console version, because the levels, in my opinion, are paced better due to being split into 3 chapters each, which I really appreciated. And thankfully, since then, LEGO games have, in my opinion, got better on it. And I also recently played the LEGO Jurassic World, and after this recording, I'm going to be starting LEGO Team Laval's Journey, which I'm looking forward to starting. And I would also as well say that even fighting games, in my opinion, on my Vita are also great too. Because last year, I spent a massive time of the year grinding on Injustice Gods Among Us on my Vita. Because Injustice Gods Among Us on this has all the DLC here on the Ultimate Edition, all there. And that's what I really appreciate about it on the Vita version. You can get this, I think, on PS4 as well. I think I actually got on my Vita. And in my opinion, despite being a portable console version of a game, in my opinion, it's great because just like those LEGO games I mentioned at the start, they're literally, this is literally the same as a console version, just with a graphical downgrade. That's all, really. And also touchscreen as well. He's also playing the game as well. I've also as well played the PS Vita version of Mortal Kombat as well on it, which is the complete edition with all the DLC there. And in my opinion, even this is great too. And as a bit of a hot take, in my opinion, it's a better portable MK game than the Switch version of MK11 and MK1, in my opinion. That's really sad for me to say, really, because you'd expect them to be better on the Switch, but sadly not. I've also as well delved into as well Street Fighter X Tekken as well on my Vita, which in my opinion is also pretty good on my Vita as well for a portable console or game as well. In my opinion, it's really good. I think it's also on PS3 as well, so I might probably play on that at some point one day, maybe. Even as well, Assassin's Creed was also good on the Vita. This is also similar to a console version too as well. In my opinion, it's very impressive how they can translate it to Vita just like that, really. In my opinion, it's very impressive. Even as well, the Arkham game had a Vita game, which was Origins Blackgate, which in my opinion is pretty underrated. Sadly, of course, it's like a side-scroller game, and Batman can't jump, so that's a bit of a shame, really, isn't it? And there's even as well Uncharted on the Vita with Golden Abyss, which in my opinion is also an underrated game. Literally similar to a console version, just on a touchscreen console, which is small. In my opinion, did a very good job translating Uncharted gameplay to a Vita. I think they really want it, in my opinion. And another franchise, which is also exclusive to the PlayStation, is also God of War. You can play God of War 1 and 2 on the Vita in a collection, and they have trophies on, which is pretty awesome. And it's very impressive how we translated a PS2 game to PS Vita, and it looks the same as the console version, which in my opinion is absolutely fantastic. And you can also play Volume 2, whose spin-off game as well on the Vita via PSP backwards compatibility, which is pretty awesome. So, I definitely think the Vita, in my opinion, is the most underrated console of all time because it had great exclusives and also games on it which are backwards compatible from the PSP, and some which are exactly the same as the console version, which I think is very impressive. And I think it's lots of fun. It even has pretty cool accessible features. For example, you can take pictures with it because it's got a camera on the back, which is pretty cool. And there's lots of really fun things you can do on it. You can even as well use your same PSN account as PS3, PS4, and PS5 on it, which is really cool. So I love that, how you can do that. So yeah, if you guys haven't played on PS Vita, I'd recommend it. In my opinion, it's the most underrated console of all time, with lots of great games on it for you to play, with lots of really cool features you can't get anywhere else. And it's definitely, in my opinion, a must-have console. Sadly, they've not done any new games for it because they stopped serving it, which really sucks. And sadly, it looks like it might be the last portable console by Sony for a long while because, personally, I don't count PS Portal as a as a console. It's literally just PS5 on a phone screen with like, you know, piece of PS5 controller on the side, really. So, I personally don't count that as a console. I just count it as, you know, like, remote play. Speaking of that, I do like how this console has remote play, so you can literally use it as another controller if you want to, if you ain't got a spare controller, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, if you want to use a spare controller, you can use this for remote play. Just make sure you've got good internet connection, because I love about the hardware. I'm trying to get a trophy from Lego Hobbit. So, yeah. But, nonetheless, though, I think this is, in my opinion, the most underrated console of all time. If you guys haven't played it, but I'd recommend it. In my opinion, it's a lot of fun, with great games on it, great exclusives, and great features you can't get anywhere else. So, Vita, in my opinion, is the most underrated console of all time, and I can't wait to play more games on it. I've still got some more that I need to play, and I'm very excited to do that. So, guys, this is me saying why, in my opinion, the PS Vita is, for me, the most underrated console of all time. So, you know the drill, guys. Be sure to give the video a like. Also, be sure to let in the comments what you guys think of the PS Vita. If you played it, leave in the comments below what you think of it. Also, be sure to join the team by pressing subscribe. Who's coming in the future, and I'll see you all later.